Good morning, welcome to our online classroom once again. Hope you understood last day's chapter. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, Last Spring, written by Anis Jeng, an Indian writer. Spring season, as you know, it is a season filled with hopes, happiness and all. Just like that, childhood is also a stage in our life which is filled with hopes, happiness and ambition. In The Last Spring, Anis Jeng is talking about the miseries of children who have lost their childhood in the web of poverty, misery and illiteracy. Today we are discussing the first part of the chapter, Sometimes I Get a Rupee in the Garbage. The main character is a small boy, Sahab, a rag picker. Our author meets this boy one day nearby the garbage and she is asking what he is searching for, and he is telling that he is searching for gold. Gold is anything and everything for these boys. And she is again asking him why he is not going for school. Then he replies that there is no school nearby his house. So she tells him that she will construct a school for him. After a few days, again she meets this boy Sahab and he comes and asks her whether the school is ready. She tells him that the school is not ready, it is not easy to construct a school, and he feels embarrassed for making such a promise which is not meant for. Again after a few days she is meeting him and she is asking his name, and he tells his name as Sahabi Alam. The meaning of the word is Lord of Universe, and she wonders whether this boy know the meaning of his name. Again she meets these boys again and again. They appears and disappears like morning birds, and she notices that most of these boys are not wearing any footwears. She asks them what is the reason why they are not wearing footwears. Again these boys are telling, they are giving so many excuses like my footwears are on the top of the shelf and my mother is not giving it. I couldn't find the other pair of my footwear, or this is a part of our tradition not wearing the footwear. Somehow she doubts that they are making such lame excuses to hide the reality of their poverty. Anyway, this reminds her about another boy, son of a priest in Udupi, who on his way to school every day stopped by the temple entrance and prayers for a pair of shoes. Finally he gets a pair of shoes. Then he started to pray not to lose those shoes. The acquaintance with these boys helps our author to visit Simapuri, which is a place on the outskirts of Delhi. Sahab and other ragpicker families are residing in that area. They are the migrants from Dhaka, a place in Bangladesh. At Dhaka, they have identity, but here in Simapuri, they don't have any identity of their own or any ID cards of their own, but they have a ration card, which helps them to register their vote during election and which helps them to get some food grains. So for these women of this Simapuri, for them getting food grains is more better than getting a ID card. For them, they think that their children can go to bed without an aching stomach. That is sufficient. So they are residing in Simapuri, leaving their place at Dhaka. Again our author is seeing this boy after a few days. On a winter morning, she sees our Sahab standing nearby a tennis court looking at two young men playing tennis. This time Sahab is wearing a tennis shoes. Then our author thinks in her mind that only he can wear those shoes, but never in his life he will be able to play tennis in that court. After a few days, again she is meeting Sahab on his way to a milk booth. He is carrying a canister also, a heavy canister. And he informs her that Now monthly he is getting an amount of 800 rupees. So he is settled now. But our author is of the opinion that he is settled anyway, but now he is not his own master. Maybe the canister is not that heavy like his bag of rag picking. But when he was a rag picker, he was the master of his own life. Now when he is working in that milk booth, carrying that canister, he is not a master of his own life. And our story ends there. So through this story, our author has tried to bring out the fact that certain children are losing their childhood, their right to education, all these because of the misery in their life or the poverty in their life. The story Last Spring deals with the deplorable condition of poor children who get forced to miss the simple joyful moments of childhood because of their socio-economic conditions. These children are not given the opportunity of schooling and are compelled to start working early in life. The author Anis Jung strives hard to eliminate the child labor through her book. She propagates the education of children and enforcement of strict laws against child labor by the government. The message is to put an end to child exploitation and let all children enjoy their days of the spring and joy. The justification of the title. The last spring has a tinge of irony. Spring is the best season of a year. Being full of color, fragrance, and freshness, it is also a season of renewal and growth. The childhood of human life is often likened to spring, as it marks the beginning of human life and has a tremendous scope for growth. It is full of joy, pleasure, and play. Children anywhere in the world are a source of great joy. But, ironically, millions of children like Sahib experience no spring in their lives, for their childhood is consumed in making a living. Education, play, and pleasure are not for them to enjoy. They must work to support themselves and their families. Thus, the title brings out the depravity of child labor in a very telling way. You people read the text twice or thrice, take down the notes, and attend the test 2 before 2 o'clock today itself. Don't forget to say the URL too. See you in our next session. Thank you. Goodbye.